naturally brings parents into this picture, right? Many still see conventional careers are as safer and more respectful. There was a student who asked that question in the previous discussion too. How do schools and parents balance those traditional expectations with the growing demand for unconventional career choices? And could you share some examples, initiatives you have seen in your school that bridge this gap?
Yes, it's the question these days, because right when the child comes in ninth standard, I always tell in the school we have right from prep to grade 12. So the parents who are there from nursery to PP2 or grade 1 and 2, very anxious parents because child has initiated formal education and all that. Then when the child comes to ninth or 10th, then again parents become anxious. In between those grades of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, they said, it's going on, let it go on. There's not much of this thing. So when it comes to the decision of taking a career, 9th, 10th is about that. 11th, the child has to take a call, which stream to go in for. So I have seen over the years, I am not from Hyderabad, but I've been in Hyderabad since 2010, right? And what I've seen during these last 15, 16 years is that, of course, STEM is a much wanted stream over here. But over the years, we have seen change, not drastic, gradual change, rumblings of change we are seeing on a day-to-day basis. Every year we have a new badge and every year we see something new. You know what, why when we talk about the role of parents and school, now children these days are aware of, a lot of awareness is there. They have a lot of knowledge. And this generation, Gen Z, which you call, is something different to deal with. So outrightly, you cannot tell them, no, this is not done. That is not acceptable. And I don't think so that should be acceptable also. You have a logic, you give them a piece of logic and they take it. So why parents are a little scared when it comes to after 10th, why if we tell them these are the options which the child can take or navigate through, the only thing which they feel is, I think, from my perspective, seeing the parents is about the recognition of that particular job, whether that job is recognized, that stream is recognized. Second is financial security. Because every parent feels that my child's career should be financially secure. And whatever standard we have given the children over the years, the child should be able to do a little better, up it up. So that is what the parents' concern is, nothing more. But then I think as a school, we have a very, very major role to play into this. After then, when they come for discussion, the parents are sitting in front of me and the child is standing in the back, and the parent is saying that we are not forcing the child to do anything. Ma'am, this is his or her decision. And from behind, the child is telling me to leave. Okay. So this is the scenario at the moment. Outrightly, we cannot tell the parent, do this, do that. So what do we have to do in the school? So I think, we have to make them more aware, take both interactive sessions with them, with the parent and child. Because I believe whatever decisions are taken, it has to be the child in the center, the parent and the school. This trinity has to go together into it. So when we sit together and when we learn together about various things which are happening outside in the world, and very rightly the child has to present before the parent that what is it that he or she is looking for, and why he or she is looking for this, and what is the roadmap for him. That is important. Therein we come into it, whether it is the career counselors and of course the behavioral counselors who play a big role in this. And apart from that, I think it's more about awareness, more about letting the industry experts come to the school and give a expert talk, more about alumni who have gone out of the school, they come back to the school, and so peer talk makes a lot of emphasis on the parents. So things are under control. If they have done and they have been successful at it, my child can. So as a school, what all we are doing into this to bring about, because the change is definitely there. And you cannot outrightly, put down the children. It's not. If you do that, you lose them somewhere on the way. They will become, before I tell you what all we are doing in the school, I would like to tell you one example. It was around 7 to 8 years back. I was teaching in a school, and there was one girl in my class in grade 10. And she was very good at English, excellent at English. And her writing flair, speaking flair, everything was very good. But the mother and the father wanted that the child should become an engineer. So they had their own reasons for that. Nothing against it, but then the child and the parent had a friction regarding this. So 11th and 12th, the child went in for science stream. She passed, and whatever these exams are, AI, EEE, and advanced and all, she got into it and she got a seat. In the meantime, her board results had also come. She had scored above 97% marks in boards. Now this girl told her parents, I've secured a seat in an engineering college, and this was only to prove to you that I can become an engineer whenever I want. Now, I do not want to pursue this. And that girl took admission in TU. She went in for journalism. Then she went to UK for a higher degree. And she's working over there. So these are the choices the child has to make, right? But I think it's very difficult. So how will the children do it alone? It's one of a case. The child had to go through it. So what we do in the school is that, we had this university phase. Now, recently also in the month of August, we had a university fair. We called around 60 universities, and both national and international. Come over. They come down to the school, call the children, call the parents, who spend the day with them, spend 3 hours of your time with them, understand where these universities are, what courses are they offering. Some of the courses we really do not know what's being happening in the universities. So let them answer, let them see, and then take an informed decision rather than just abandoning the idea that this is a freak idea. Then secondly, for children, we also have these sessions with the experts. We have university experts come in, we have the industry experts come in, we have the alumni experts come in and then talk to them. Then we have started this, now when we have to, the child has to navigate to a certain particular area, we have also started this TA program in our school, that is the teacher assistant program. So what happens is, the child assists a teacher in whatever his or her interest is. So in the process, one thing is they learn this thing of leadership quality comes into them because they have to do certain things. It's not only take from the teacher and they have to do it and give it to the teacher. And secondly, what happens is that transparency happens. Okay, this is what is happening in the school. This is what the teachers are doing. So at their level, they learn that. Then we have, recently we organized, because again, sitting in Barbers, I think Pawan would understand. We had a crowdfundraising, in the school for 15 days, and believe me, the amount of money the children have raised for social causes, immense it is. So what do you learn from this? That given the right thing to them, they will pounce at it and they will go for it. This is the generation. They can do anything if given the right kind of atmosphere and given the right kind of work for them. Apart from that, what happens in crowdfunding is that they raise money for a social cause, right? So when they raise money for a social cause, one is they learn about those causes, empathy comes into it. Then, they become humble, humility comes into this because they are directly working with that. Then apart from that, their gratefulness steps in, that we are grateful for where we are placed. Now, I feel that these virtues should be there in every child's personality. And then wherever they want to fly, however high they want to fly, if the anchorage is strong, they will not stray from that path.
And so I think you very well put the intro part of them. And making students aware of their strengths, their commitments, through various learning initiatives that you're doing in your school. Excellent points, ma'am. Moving to you interact a lot with students, or perhaps, not just interact, you help them to take some of those very, very crucial, critical positions in their life. Now, when it comes to careers that are not traditional, what skills or mindsets do these students really need to develop, right? And in your view, how early should this kind of career guidances must begin? Is it only 10th, 11th, which we normally see in schools, or should it start much earlier?
Okay, good afternoon. Thanks, Pawan, for calling here. Thank you, everyone here. So, I am a career coach by profession, and I have worked, in various professions to understand what suits me best, what motivates me. So that is my why I became a career coach. I wanted to become a guide who I did not got when I was in 16 years of age. So that with that feeling, I think that the skills which we need in today's world, it is some skills are same which we needed back then when our parents' generations or their parents' generation, and some skills which we need to adapt because everything is changing. In that case, like very simple but yet powerful skills are like adaptability. The kids are very comfort zone nowadays. They are not thrown into a kind of stress situation or kind of situation where they have to really work or think beyond what is happening around. So if they can, we can help them as a parent, at a school, as an educationist, if we can help them to understand that what adaptability means and come out of that comfort zone, then definitely they will be more focused and they will think beyond what is happening. Second skills, what I feel is like emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Again, it will come from adaptability. If I am comfortable, I know what is going on, what I am as a person, which generally I think all of us in generation, we are still evolving and trying to understand who we are. That process will begin from the school time and it will be there until we are, retiring. But that idea should be there from the childhood, that who we are as a person, self-awareness programs or emotional quotient building. Nowadays, students are very much, mentally stimulated. It's a sign of intelligence. They are intelligent. As ma'am is doing so many things in her school, giving them hands-on activities. So that gives them an emotional strength, that they know that I am a part of a school teacher activity. I'm a part of a program which is happening in a school. So whenever in our age, if you see students who were, taking activity, managing certain school functions or annual function, they are in managerial position right now because they had that quality back then. Similarly, this time also, every child is different and they need different way of learning. And not only skills, I think these skills parents also have to develop. As ma'am was saying that the parents say that do whatever you want to do, I am supporting you. Wonderful statement. They don't say whatever means what. They just give a vague, specific is terrific. You have to do a lot of research as a merit and take them as a team member, not your child. You cannot order them anymore. You cannot tell them this is the branch, this is the study you have to do. This is safe because I know. Parents are the worst counselor which I can see. Because, sorry to say that, we all are parents and it is what is happening. They feel whatever is right, whatever they have done, because they have seen lot of failures in their life. So what they are saying is the right point. Let them fail. That is what is called about growth mindset, another skill set which has to be developed. Openness towards growth, and that can only happen if they fail. Setbacks are okay. We have to lead them, as Madison ma'am said, that anchor should be strong, then they can fly. And from there, adaptability, the skill development, or what do you call that? Many important pointers. I'm not able to recollect right now. Critical thinking, analytical thinking, critical thinking, logical reasoning. If you see, all entrance exam have this similar kind of pattern, but in school curriculum, CBSE, ICSE, we don't have that subject. When they have to write entrance exam, they come to that point. Why can't we give them that kind of aptitude, when they are at school? In 7th, 8th, as your second question is, how early that preparations, discussion should start? That should definitely start when they are in 5, 6 or 7 class. Why not? When we are going into a restaurant to eat, tell them how this restaurant is working, who is making the food, from where raw materials is coming. Just discuss those kind of small things, they will feel very motivated. They'll understand, oh, so many things are happening. So hotel is an industry. Give them an example, how this is running, what you are eating. What are job roles are involved in running a restaurant. Again, this watch movies. Everybody love movies. Everybody watch Netflix. We need to tell them that how it is happening, who is running that Netflix. Entire industry, OTT platform, if we can start that small discussion as a parent, as a school teacher, we can have these kind of sessions where they will go and, keep talking. If these kind of questions are putting into their mind, I'm sure, as ma'am said, that we have to channelize them in a way that they have to do activities. They will come out with a project. They don't learn just by listening gyan, which we used to do.
Absolutely.
They're completely fizzling out. So 9th, 10th, till 9th is the exploration phase. 10th, 11th should be like structured psychometric assessment or proper career guidance, when they have that confidence in them. Once the confidence is built among the children, then definitely when they are in 11, they'll be able to choose their course, their subject stream. Various kind of subject stream combinations are going on. Biology, psychology, and maths could make you a what do you call it, genetic counselor. No, genetic consultant is a new age profession is coming up. You will get customized medicine based on your genetics, not the generic medicine which we are buying from a pharmacy.
Those personal computer manufacturers, they were saying in Bombay, they recruited around 10 to 15 students who were in schools. Probably, I don't know whether they completed 12. They were definitely not pursuing any UG at that point in time. They picked up one of those fine apartments overlooking the marina, and they picked up this place. They put all these kids in an apartment for almost 6 months and gave them game devices to just play. Every day, just keep playing games. And evenings, they have to give feedbacks on what are the possible bugs, etc., etc. Just thinking, they were not techies at all. They were just users of games and, how feedbacks used to be taken. More than all that, what I was surprised was, how did the parents allow these children who are, to leave away from a normal schooling or a career, college, and, put them to, it's like you're, what do you call it? You are confined in an apartment life. All things are given to you and just play games. For parents to allow, for students to take it up, and then companies to also support that kind of a learning process there, or rather a feedback process there. So my question to you, Abdullah, is vantage point as both as a tech entrepreneur and as someone building a brand-driven venture. What opportunities do you see for undergraduates pursuing unconventional paths here? And importantly, how do employees perceive candidates who've been chosen these new age UG pathways?
Good morning, everyone. So myself, Abdullah, I worked in Oak Ridge. I think I met Sir when I was
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So now I work, head branding and marketing at MCV. So we are more into giving tech tools for teachers and principals. So what I see as working at Oak Ridge, I've seen kids do wonderful stuff. So we have affiliation with MIT, we have affiliation with UNICEF. So I'll talk about how I see students and how the millennial generation that I'm working with. So now I had a team of 8 people who are into marketing and branding. So talking to a question now, I think students are not looking at conventional careers. So I'll take a story of a student. His name is Shashank. So he was born in Yoba. He's an Oak Ridge student. He's done with his 12th. He might be moving to New York for his undergrad. So he was raised in New York. He came back to Hyderabad to complete his 12th and to. So when he was Oak Ridge, so he was an ambassador for UNICEF. So he was we have this collaboration with UNICEF where we go to summits of UNICEF. So this student went there. He understood what other students were doing, what other communities students were doing, and he brought back that idea and has implemented here. And he did a summit. So it's called SDG Summit. That's the first summit, SDG Summit that has happened in the whole of India. And I think we did a Times of India also did a PR around it. So this guy, when he was applying for university offers, I asked him are you going for Harvard, Stanford? Because he's from a good family and he can afford that kind of an education. He says, no, I'm not going for that. I'm going for an engineering in so-and-so college. I asked him do you have a good credential? Why? Why you want to choose it? So for him, it's just more about, what he has done as a kid. So it's not about, all this education was a profile building for him. He was a very good guy in SDG. He bought in 36 lakhs of, grant from the Nord Anglia Education. So Oak Ridge is owned by Nord Anglia, which is a UK company. So seeing his work that he has done in the SDG Summit, they wanted to take it forward. So Nord Anglia has given 36 lakhs of grant, and they do it on a yearly basis. So I asked him the same question, why going for a conventional career instead of this thing? So he set up story where he was want to make a change in tech. So that is what inspired him to take that opportunity. And coming to the other side of it, I work with millennials. So this is Gen Z story. I work with millennials. So I'm into brand. So I have designers, 6 designers. So I asked them this question, why branded? So they don't talk about, I want to, design something good. I want to design something good. They talk of culture. So they talk of, I was raised in this background and I was consuming this kind of media, and this is how I see it. So, they say that for me, a branding is not a, design or something, but it's more of a cultural understanding of a word. It's more of neuroscience understanding. So he talks about Nietzsche, how he can implement certain things of what he has read in Nietzsche in designing at that thing. So I think today, when I look at Gen Z and when I look at the millennials that I work with, so it's not about, what their parents have done or what, their parents are successful with. At Oak Ridge, like they be in your work in US and all the big companies. So what I've seen is, for someone, it's about something that triggered them in the childhood. For some, it's more about, what they have gone throughout the journey of the education. That is my intention.
Yeah. Like you mentioned culture. And that way, if you see, curriculum plays a very, very powerful role in shaping exposure. Based on your experience, how can schools, we will early exposure to non-traditional careers, whether it's entrepreneurship, design or social impact, even before undergraduate studies, and those students are making informed and, inspired choices, so to speak.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Suhas. I am from Suchitra Academy. Before I give my answer, I would like to rephrase the question.
Yeah.
I don't know who officially made entrepreneurship, design, and social impact as non-traditional ones, because they are as traditional as the term could be. Social impact is the traditional. Entrepreneurship, I don't know my 10th past great grandfather being an engineer. He should be an entrepreneur of some kind, right? Some merchant, some guy, some farmer, something. So even design. Let's talk about Harappan. Let's talk about Babylonian. Weren't they all such beautiful monuments, civilizations, even costumes, even the way you read, even the literature? It's all design. It's all life design. So, what I would like to question the question is that why are we, our approach towards this whole problem was wrong from the beginning. We are thinking that this is traditional, this is non-traditional, this is something we have to emphasize more. There's a student, listen this, there's a student who comes to me 6 months back saying that, sir, it's a new admission student, obviously they come with parent. And suddenly career counselor becomes the most important person in the school because it's an admission, right? And they asked me one question, which really enlightened me. Sir, can you please tell me about a job which is risk-free, which is sorted out, which has high salary, which has high respect, where the process is easy, where the process is known, and there is no risk involved with, sir. Can you please tell about that job? Then I said, why do you think I would be here? If I would have known that that child was very against to that code written there. The very approach of this is a school where you will get your grade 12 degree certificate. That is a university where you will get your BTech certificate. That is a incubation center where you will get your idea prototype. Why this differentiation? And I really love from the previous panel, from all the beautiful panelists, but also one of my favorite career counselor, Bhakti Shah. She said that the chamber is completely, there is no sound in that chamber between high school and industry. Now, who didn't allow industry to come to high school? I'm a high school teacher. I'm the counselor, but still I would like to consider myself as a teacher. I never said if Steve Jobs would love to. He is a visionary, right? He wanted to transform the world. Obviously, he would like more than money. He actually wanted to create that influence, disrupt all the tech and the design thinking in the world. If Steve Jobs wanted to come and influence the world, obviously Steve Jobs would know that high school is the most fertile soil than the other soil compared, because they're still plants. They're more vulnerable to adapt than the other grown-up people like us. Now, did I stop Steve Jobs from coming to my school and doing that expert-led session? Did I stop the CEO from Google here in Hyderabad coming to my school? So, aren't we not welcoming them? If they're really coming, can't we create a change in our timetable and curriculum? So, what I would like to take away from today's panel and today's summit is that if there can be a change in the way I do in tomorrow's first thing in my task sheet, then I think, then we are talking. Then I think, even if you want to cut hair, coming back to that, you can become the best barber in the world. Even if you can filter water, you can have the best mineral water in the world. And once you become the best, the mineral water, barber, scientist, engineer, that won't come. Only the best word that comes into the picture. So that is how we career counsel. That is how we approach the question.
I think you are quite philosophical in your approach to things, which is very really amazing to see that. Because sometimes we always want to see things black and white. That is when we talk about traditional, non-traditional, design isn't a part of everything, entrepreneurship is part of everything, it's all part of it, everything, but we never looked at it from a different lens to see it outside of those layered versions which are always there, part of all our learning processes. That's where we are trying to open it up, and good that you brought it up today. And to talk about hair cutting down that, sometimes I wish, whenever I get to my driver's seat, I tell myself, you're not what you think in your head you are. You're just a driver. And you have to always look at driving as a driver, not about what PhDs you have, your experience, otherwise corporate. You are a driver, and sometimes I think I would want to be one of the best Uber drivers in the world, if I can be, with all these learnings put together. So that's about a particular profession, the way that one can see to it is what I think. Now back to all of you. The question would be, looking ahead for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, if we can think about how or which non-traditional undergraduate course careers do you believe could be one of those most unique things which will come up in the next 5 to 10 years? And if a student is standing at a crossroads today, choosing between a so-called safe career or a new age one, what would be that one piece of advice you would give it today?
Before I say that, I'd like to pick up one point which he was speaking about. He was speaking about risk, this word. Now, when we talk about risk-taking, because entrepreneurship or any other non-traditional career is all about risk-taking. Now, in this room, we are parents, there are would-be parents, how do we raise our children these days? Being a principal of a school since the last 15 years, I have seen this generation or the younger parents, they are raising their children as if they have to be in a glass cabin and not a pebble can touch their child, Then where do we get the risk factor for? When they will not be exposed to any risk. Where will we get that thing from? They always have to be safe from everything. Physical, emotional, everything has to be safe. My child has to be totally safe all the time. So how will the child learn? We always keep this, then and 9th and 10th, we are forced to the parents, leave the child alone, let him or her learn, let him or her fall down, they will get up, we are there at the back, but if you are, before the child falls down, you are placing your hand underneath, nothing can happen, And finally, they have to deal with the world outside. And you and me are not going to be there with them forever. So that is where, depends upon how the bringing up of the child, the generation that we are bringing up these days is have our generation, they have everything. So there is no need for anything, right? So the need has to be created. And apart from that, a child should...
Isn't the needs changed?
Needs are changed. The needs are changed, sir. And there is no problem with changing of needs. But then, it should be an earned need. It cannot be taken for granted that, yes, I have all.
Not an entitled one.
Not an entitled one. That entitlement creates a problem. Because entitlement can remain till the child is under the parents' purview. What happens when the child moves out in the world? Is the world so what did I say? Is the world a very peaceful place to be? Or is the world very fair? So I always tell my children in 9th to 12th, I said, see, please do not say, we teach in the school, be fair with each other, but the world is not a fair place at all. So you have to be strong enough to make your position, fight for your rights, and then go about with your job without, anybody touching. So that is how it is. So for the question which was there about the careers which we see in the coming years, whatever careers we are thinking today are non-traditional or unconventional, 5 years down the line, they will be totally conventional, right? So now AI is there in everything. So who is not learning AI, whether it is in the science stream, commerce stream, humanities stream, AI has become a part of every profession. So AI is there, of course, digital things, so many things are there. Then, of course, health marketing has become a big thing, whether it is, wellness coaching, or it is mindfulness coaching, or it is human augmentation that is trying to tell the human beings what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, what you have to work on. The conservation of marine stuff, I think even, they are thinking of mining in asteroids. So you think that it is there on the table. So it is only it is nowadays, not in the child's mind. They have an idea. I think we should, without putting them down outrightly, we have to talk to them. Communication is the key word. Now, any profession they take, I think communication is the key. Whether you are a principal, whether you are an engineer. I've had the people coming to my office and telling me, ma'am, I want to hire an engineer for my company, and I have, 100 applications. But I can't. Because, there must be 98% gray matter over here. But unless and until you can put it across to the other person what you mean to do, how you're doing it, it is a waste. So communication is the key word. And all these careers, whether it is in health or even agriculture, has gone high-tech. Absolutely. You have, vertical farming, you have urban farming, you have hydroponics. So anything you go about it, it's a non-conventional career. But only thing with non-conventional careers which we have to make the children and parents understand, that you can't just say that, suppose, let me talk more about a conventional career. If a child is a doctor or an engineer, they get placed into a company immediately on completion or whatever, they get a package. They know this is the package I'm going to get. In non-conventional careers, it might take time because you have to sustain. That persistence has to be there. Hard work will be there. If it is your passion, surely hard work will be there. But over a period of time, would be more flexible with things, and you will be able to, maybe the financial gains will going to be more than what the companies are paying for you. So that persistence has to be there. For that thing, I only tell my children that you have to have a proper skill set for what you plan to do. So if this is the plan, what are the skills that you have? There has to be proper support for them, whether it is academic support, which is always there, invariably it is there, whether from the school side or from the parent side. We don't lead them, they don't lead them. It's more about the emotional support and, I would say, risk management support. And nothing happens if I fall, nothing happens, the sky is not going to fall. There will be plan A, B, C, D. There are plans in action. That's how.
That reassurance.
That reassurance we have to give to them always.
Ma'am, how about?
Yeah, so most of the things ma'am has already covered. But as you asked that safe career, the safe, there is nothing. Do you think that your job role is safe anymore? If you do not evolve, nothing is safe. So as a teacher also, my mother, my maternal grandmother, they have served like 30 years, 40 years into teaching. So they were safe, got the job, did graduation, got the job, taught until they are retired and happy. But now the teachers has to evolve. They have to keep growing their skills to tell them what skills has to be developed. Similar way, all the career paths, either you are not motivated or you don't know what is it requiredly, then that is unsafe for you. You will be replaced. So students are talking about AI. Actually, nobody actually knows what is AI. They are just a consumer of AI. Nobody understands how to utilize or how to be the brain to function that day. So that kind of thought process we need to, see and give them, as I said, that as early we'll start communication and talking to them and give them right direction. The kids are like river. So it's flowing. They have all minerals. They have all power. They are just flowing in free flow. We have to cut the canal and put them in a channel so that go and do the irrigation. So that's the path they are. We just have to help as a channel, and they'll flow in a direction, and they'll grow and thrive in a way that we will be in a very better country in future. And that's what I will.
Yeah. So my take, I would talk to my personal experience. What I see is, yes. So my take, I'll talk from my personal experience. So we have Lead Square has a CRM. So now we are changed to Tele CRM. So we do a lot of advertising and marketing, and we use WhatsApp extensively. So there's this new feature in the new CRM that we bought, Tele CRM. They don't allow a customer to receive more number of advertisements in a day. So it's a policy by the company. So Lead Square, we were able to reach, let's suppose we had 2,000 parents, we were able to reach 2,000 parents one time. Then there's no such policy where you restrict to receive a message. But Tele CRM has a policy where the restrict, if a parent is getting more number of messages, so they restrict. So it's an collaboration that they have with Meta. So when I see it, the new careers that are coming. So when I talk with people in tech, they talk about ethics. What kind of things can be controlled. We can't push it. There has to be a limit. And when I talk with people who work in branding, they're from people who understand history, people who understand culture, and people who understand international affairs on a deeper level. And when I talk with people from branding, designing, so they don't talk about I had this typography, I learned from this fine art, I went to this college, I was intern here. So they talk about neuroscience. They talk about how this design, when looked at in a flash of spec, it can capture your attention. So I think the new age roles where people are going is tech people are mostly talking about ethics. What I have come across, people in design are more inclined towards neuroscience, how to give a customer a good experience, and people in branding are talking about international affairs, culture, and that thing. That is my perspective.
Right. And this AI to its fullest limits and gives us time more to have these human connections and not fully automate, but fully empower all the clerical things, all the automated things. For example, there is this. Do you know about this Sarla aviation happening in Bangalore? I think enough is being talked about it. The flying taxis. But did you also hear about this water taxis which can travel from Bengal to, let's say, Vishakhapatnam in 3 hours on water, like a taxi? So anything of that sort, I think, will be booming in the next 5-10 years. Right? So anything immediate and anything which gives you more time to spend you with your family, spend you with your own critical thinking. I think those careers will be in the next 5-10.
All right.